it several times now, but how cool is it to be here on Father's Day and have your son? I know it's old hat for him, but it's got to be a pretty cool moment for you.
He's still in bed, I think. So he's probably up by now. It's been really cool. Really proud of him. He actually played baseball in Dallas on Thursday and Friday and caught a plane on his own on Saturday morning. I think rolled out of bed at 5:15 and got here at 9:15. Caught an Uber to the hotel. Pretty independent guy. Really proud of him.
Coach, how's this team really set up to, with the experience they've had, facing adversity over just the last couple years, but even earlier this year, set up to come back from losing the first game of the World Series to make a run?
Yeah, I mean, really, you got an opportunity to play on the biggest stage there is in college baseball, and you've lost one game, and which is, eventually maybe that might happen for everybody that's here. I look at it as a positive. We got a lot of guys on the mound, got a lot of guys experience, get an opportunity to play on Monday, and it's one of those deals where we hadn't seen this team with their backs against the wall really yet, and looking forward to seeing it.
How's Caleb built for a moment like this?
Caleb, he's first of all, we hadn't decided for sure on that. Kind of looking at it this afternoon, but I would say you'd like to think your whole team's built for moments like this. You work throughout the whole year, put yourself in this position. These guys love playing baseball. We ran into a guy could really pitch yesterday, or two guys. Ran into a team that played really good defense, and so that part of it you can't really control. That's the game we play, and these guys have prepared. They're ready for this moment, and they just need to go out and trust what they do.
Does it help if they just had an elimination game against Oklahoma State and were able to come back in a high-pressure situation there?
Well, the interesting thing is elimination game in that moment was a 2 out of 3, and you're trying to win the series, and you're just trying to win each day. And might have a little bit different feel to it from a standpoint of 100%. You're not thinking about your season being over maybe the way you guys would last weekend at home. You're thinking about playing great baseball. It really needs to stay the same. Go play the game the right way and take it one day at a time. And if you let your mind go to, this could be over tomorrow, you're pretty much done anyway. So this game's, you got to play right where your feet are. Hopefully we'll keep doing that.
Coach, you mentioned you hadn't completely decided who's going to pitch. Is there anybody else that might potentially go? And if Bryce was one of them, is there any benefit?
It would be Bonin. I would think so. I mean, I think there's some comfort level with him pitching against their guys, probably 5 or 6 times, maybe even more. I would think there's some motivation there for him. His stuff's really good, first of all. That's probably the first thing. But, I mean, I think if you went to work for him, you'd like to do something. And so I think there's some human element there that wants us all to kind of give the ball to Bryce, that we all want to give it to him.
You mentioned yesterday that Dallas didn't necessarily have his regular stuff, but do you think it's more important, I guess, the guys behind him play a little bit better as well tomorrow?
Well, you always want to play good defense. You don't want to give away free 90s. So the more you can limit to that, the better off you're always going to be in a baseball game. The difference between them and us yesterday was fundamentals. I mean, we gave up some free bases and in a couple ways, and so hopefully we'll go out and play better.
They haven't decided, I don't think, either, but it sounds like Nolan's going to pitch for them. What have you seen from him in his first year?
It's either going to be Nolan or Wicklander. I think they're both freshmen. One's right-handed, one's left. Hadn't really had a chance to dive into as far as everything about them just yet, other than their starts in the regional and super.
Coach, I know they asked you about Gabe yesterday. I guess was he able to practice today, or I guess what's his status?
No, he didn't practice. He hadn't practiced since. Neat thing about Gabe is when he feels like he can go, he came off an injury last year, I think, where he had his appendix taken out, if you guys remember, and literally went 10 days without seeing a pitch. and came out and played great. He's a guy that has played a lot of baseball at a high level, and so if we can get to that point, it'd be cool. But right now, the guys need to pick him up and do everything we can to play good without him.